So, you're all well and rested and freshly back from your vacation, which is awesome. Good for you. Probably financed by your selling efforts, I would assume.
Completely
Yeah.
financed by my selling efforts.
Good.
This is actually the first conversation we've had since I've officially left the Matrix.
Oh, really?
I've now completely left the 9 to 5 route to simply focus on my own agency. So I am now completely unplugged. It's given me a lot more capacity to focus on the real world, but also my own endeavors as well. I actually had a conversation with Knox and asked him how he done it. You was earning in a high ticket environment where you'd make large bonuses. How did you walk away from that? And he said there's always going to be another bonus if you continue to work there.
Yes, this is true.
And that became a thorn in my brain over the next, it was about a month and a half ago we had this conversation. And he said, brother, as long as you work in that environment and you're a salesperson, you're going to make more bonuses. So if that's your reason for staying, then you're probably never going to leave.
Yes.
Is at some point or another, you're going to have to make sure, yes, you're secure and you've got money to enable yourself to do that. But that can't be your excuse forever. And it really hit home. So, yeah, I left.
Beautiful.
I decided
Congratulations,
I've got my own business. I've got doing exactly the same thing that I've been doing for the last 10 years. Let's do it for myself. It's my second time running a company. So all leading forward, all roads lead forward for me at the moment. So I'm very happy. But yeah, different mindset.
That's perfect. No, congratulations on that. That's good to hear. I think most people have this experience of, usually starting out in some capacity, way, shape, or form, or performing a job or sort of learning the ropes, which is fine. But eventually you get to a point where you realize, damn, I could be doing this for me. Yeah. I'll be making a lot more. So, yeah. And then some have the balls and some don't. And you do. So good for you. That's awesome.
100%. It's not an easy decision to make. It's definitely scary. But I learned throughout the 10 years of me working in this environment that when the waters seem choppy and it seems a little bit scary, that's the time to jump in.
Yeah.
No point staying in your comfort zone.
Unless you're swimming with sharks. In that case, don't.
Yeah, maybe don't jump in. Yeah, I've been there and done that. That's not
very white thing to do.
Yeah. Exactly. Won't catch me doing it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I saw some girl on her Instagram reel, and she's like, "What do you do if you're scuba diving, and a shark approaches you?" And she's like, "Yeah, you pet it on the snout or something."
You meant to flip it. Yeah, you meant to put pressure down on the nose and then flip it around.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Bullshit. All right.
I mean,
come on.
That's too white.
Just you're gonna lose your arm. I'll try that and absolutely lose my arm.
Yeah, just stay on the boat. Probably best. So I've been dropping some of the lessons from phase 2 in Sales Mastery, and basically what I did was go over like the phases that I see in the sales process. So what I'd like to do is basically go over them with you and just see like where, is there stuff that we disagree on, or how do you handle that? Similar to how we did it the first time.
Yeah, man. Perfect.
So for me, it always starts with basically the skill of building rapport and doing some sort of small talk, because I got quite a few questions from people saying, "Hey, I saw, I think Jordan Belfort or Grant Cardone. One of the two says no small talk at all, just get straight to business." And I'm a small talk kind of guy. Like, but how do you see that?
Yeah, so I'm a big Jordan Belfort fan. Straight line persuasion, straight line selling, getting straight to the point. That scenario you've given me there sounds very JB. That only works if you've got the reputation to uphold that. Don't be the new guy screaming, "Yeah, let's have a chat. Let's talk business." Who the fuck are you to be talking business? So earn your stripes. There's a very good saying, especially in sales and business. It's called earn your fucking stripes.
Yeah.
Know who you are, be that person, and eventually you can have that conversation. Early stages, you have to build that rapport. Naturally, I feel like at my level that there is a certain element where I can approach a business person because I have a bit of a track record. I've done this. I've got a proven track record of being able to deliver on what I talk about. So there might be a good reason for them to listen or not. Whereas if you're the new guy and you kind of being the loudest person in the room with too much to prove, then you're probably going to scare quite a few people away. So it works in both cases. Sometimes the small talk works because you need to develop that initial understanding of who you are without the track record historically. So for people that are coming up with no testimonials, no kind of history track of being able to deliver on projects, then yeah, do the small talk, get to know the person you're engaging with. And then until people start to know who you are before you pick up the phone and call them, then you can go, look, you know why I'm calling you, you know who I am, let's get straight to the point. And you can do that. So also know your client, know who you're engaging with. Some people are very, stern, and you don't want to approach them like that because they're going to cut you up and tell you to get the fuck off the call or leave the meeting, and you're going to run the wrong way. So I don't disagree with any approach here. Do your research, do that due diligence, know who you're engaging with, and don't tailor make it. That's impossible to do. Everyone talks about tailor making your approach. There's far too many people to be approaching to tailor make everyone, but do your simple due diligence on know who you're speaking with. I actually had someone approach me earlier on about a vacancy that I posted on LinkedIn, and he asked if I needed help filling it. And he's basically approached the person who fills vacancies about filling a vacancy. So he simply hadn't done his due diligence. And I wasn't
like
rude.
Inception.
Yeah, like he just made a rookie mistake, and that's to say, mate, you've just approached someone who does this about doing this for them. It's not going to happen. I was like, good luck in your search. Keep knocking them doors, but on the wrong guy. So he failed to do that simple piece of finding out who he was engaging with and was just machine gunning the market, hoping something landed. And that's very rookie. So don't do that, guys. But yeah, no, I'm a bit of both. I go to the people I know I can go to and say, look, you know, I'm contacting you. Let's talk business. The guys I know that won't know me, then yeah, look, let me make an introduction. This is who I am. This is how I can add value. Is there room for us to collaborate? Simple as that. Let's do the small talk. Who are you? Who are you about? I don't really do the small talk about how's the family, how's the kids. That is way too fucking personal. I don't know you. And really and truly, I'm not interested. And neither are you. If I'm going to sit here and tell you about my family life, you don't know me. You're not interested. Let's not fake it. Let's get straight to the point. We're trying to collaborate on business. Is there room for it?
Yeah, I do agree with that. And even like you usually work, let's say B2B or in a professional environment, right?
Yeah.
I used to work with consumers a lot.
Yeah.
Even then, I mean, it's a little weird. Like if I don't know you, I'm going to ask about your son. Like, that's like Joe Biden stuff. Don't like, can I smell him? Something like that.
You can do subtle cues. So your instance there, where you're in someone's house and you're trying to get them to instruct you to sell, you might see a photo of them with their kids.
Exactly.
You could use that as a motivator to help them move. But let's not be like, how's the kids? You don't know the kids. You seem a bit Jimmy Savile-ish asking about my children. So you could be like, look, let's find you a place that's going to be more suitable for the kids.
Yes.
So they realize you've been kind of attentive to detail. Like you've looked about, you've actually done yet again that small due diligence of their property. You've seen photos of their family. You know they're either looking to downsize or upsize. Use that as the small talk.
Yeah.
Don't be like, oh, how's the kids? Oh, look, is this move motivated by the growing family? Are the kids growing up? Are they moving out? What's the situation? You can use those nuances, but don't
paying
be
attention.
Yeah, pay attention.
Yeah, and for me, when I became a father, now it becomes sort of different because I can notice, hey, you have kids. Mine are X age, and I got 2 boys, and now we have something to talk about, right? If I see someone, I remember sometimes. Okay, so I had a couple clients over the years. They had these spare rooms, and then they would fill it up with Lego or little model trains, right? Or toy soldiers.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, grown men, right? And then they would very proudly show this to me. Like they had these switches on the wall, and they put it on, and the lights came on, and some had sound. It was, they were really proud of it.
Nice.
Now, if I stand there and tell them, yeah, I love Lego too, or I love toy soldiers too, and it's not true, well, one, they're going to find out that I'm a fraud very, very quickly. And 2, like the conversation is going to get weird quickly, right?
Yeah. I
can definitely say, hey, that's, it's awesome to see that you're really taking this serious. That's amazing. Even, I can be, that's kind of disingenuous as well, to be fair, because I don't think Lego is amazing. But
just cool that you've got this in your spare room. No.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're passionate about it. That's nice. At least there's that. But be real, and if there's something that you can bond over, like a common experience or something that you both do, fine. But I can't talk about Lego or fishing because I don't fish, nor
Yeah.
do I build with Lego a lot.
No.
Yeah,
Neither
it's
do I.
weird, but I don't. Yeah, I'm a
People
grown
know
man.
when you're bullshitting though. Like we said
Yes.
this in the last one. People are so susceptible now to a cheesy salesperson who's
Yes.
just trying to win you over for the sake of making money. Then they're treating you like a commodity. You're just a pound note to them at that point. And,
Like
and
an
really and
idiot.
truly, you're talking
Yeah.
yourself out the door. Like there's no point doing it. Even the Lego scenario you've given there, the only instance I could recollect would be referring to my childhood playing with Lego.
Yeah.
But then that comes across a bit rude because I never played as Lego as a child and you're a grown man. So maybe I don't want to piss you off that way. I'll probably try to stick away from that. I'd say, look, I love passionate people. It's amazing what you're doing.
Exactly. That's perfect.
Move on.
Like, yeah, I remember walking into a room of a guy that had model trains. He was really serious about it. And I told him, which was true, that the one thing that I really, really liked about, getting in touch with different people is to get like a glimpse into a world that you're not familiar with, which, model trains were a world I wasn't familiar with. And I noticed one train, it stood out. So is that like a special train? And the guy goes on to like some rant, like this is a 1942 train. I'm not sure if it was used in the war. Let's not get into that. But he had to pick it up from like an entire story, right? Like, okay, well, but he was happy and enthusiastic. And now I'm being genuine. But I think we can all we all have these experiences where you realize, someone is just saying something to placate me, or to build rapport, and it's so obvious you have no idea what you're talking about. Don't do that. Just
don't do that.
Be quiet.
Not in a million years. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So and if you had to like define rapport, how would you define it?
People always think this is something that you do overnight, build rapport with your client. It's not. Really and truly, it's going to happen once the business is being done. And in my case, business to business, there's massive room to build rapport. If they're hiring once, they're going to hire twice. So there's a need for me to build that relationship. But I'm not being cheesy about it. I'm not asking about the kids. If they expose certain elements of their life to me, then I'll make sure I remember that and I use that moving forwards. But these people are human beings. That they're not aliens. They're not from a different planet. They're not anything different to you or I. They want to be engaged with the exact same way that we want to be engaged with. So speak to them that way. Let's just have a conversation with them. If they expose themselves to you, then not in that way, but if they expose themselves to you and they open up,
I'm into exposing myself as well. Yeah, no, okay.
This is what I'm into. Then take what you can get, build that relationship, talk to them, be kind, be open, look at things they're talking about on a business sense. Rapport doesn't mean asking about the family or their dying grandparents. That's not rapport. Like there's so many different ways to do it. Go and meet them face to face first and foremost and get a temperament check. Feel how they actually are in person. Over the internet, over a phone call, even over an email, which is the worst case to read someone.
Yeah, okay.
You're not building rapport that way. You're simply not going to do it. So get face to face with them. Jump on a call maybe like this, and that's the way you'll start to do it. Be personal, and actually care about what they care about. Like for me, if someone's going to come and pitch me business, it doesn't have to be about me or my partner or the house I live in or the kids that I might have one day. I want them to talk about how they're going to benefit my business. How can we, if we collaborate, how are we going to work together? And if you're valuable, then we're going to collaborate. And then we're going to talk. We're maybe going to go for a drink one day. We're going to go for a meal. Then we're going to talk some more. And that's how that rapport will build with that individual whilst they're still adding value. No one wants the person who's really chatty and can have a good conversation I've got a great relationship with, but they've got no fucking value to add. Then we're not having a conversation in the first place. So rapport is have a conversation with people. That's all you're going to do. If there's room to collaborate, then they're slightly higher up the pecking order of the sales process. Cool, this person's interested. Let's continue to engage with this person. Don't just kick them to the curb. Nuances like when you engage on business, once the business is complete, don't go cold on them because you've took their money. You've run to the hills. You've never spoke to them again. Now you're going to knock on doors in 6 months' time. Go, hi, I'm back. I want more money. You didn't check in over the last 6 months. You don't know how the business has been going. You don't know how the last project that you just delivered finished up, if that was successful or not.
Yeah.
These are nuances on how to build a rapport. Constant follow up. Once the deal's done and they've paid you, that doesn't mean run to the hills and you never speak to these guys again. Yeah. Continuously check in. How did I deliver? What the service I provided, was it as expected? did you see value in it? Did, you know, as we discussed, was that what you wanted? And how are things moving forward? When's the next one? We could be cheeky and actually ask directly, when's the next one? When we're going to collaborate again?
Yeah.
Be direct and speak to these people. Yeah, again, it's a yes or a no.
Yeah, they're not
we're
dumb.
not doing it by being cheesy and asking about the kids and the family.
No.
We can do that. If one day they invite you around to their house and you meet the family and the kids, then perfect. You're probably in the door at that point. You've got a great relationship with them. So let's not be creeps. Let's not be weird. Keep it professional. Make sure you're valuable and you're a value add to someone's business first if you're going to engage with them, and then try to be personable with them. So that's my key points really, is make sure you've always got value to add, and then naturally by just engaging with these people over time, you're going to get to know them a little bit better. And the active listening piece that we teach you about, of remembering who you're engaging with, use those nuances as cues in your next conversation.
Yeah, I think to a great extent, the way I experience rapport is like a different word for connection, or I know that we're talking the same language, we're on the same wavelength. I can speak my mind, and naturally with everyone that you meet in real life, that's a little different. Like for me, I mean, I heavily self-censor in real life, because if I wouldn't, like, they would put me behind bars probably really quickly, because I'm an outspoken guy. But if I know that we're on the same, like, we speak the same language, yeah, sure, like, and I would probably buy from you over anyone, right? Yeah, obviously I would. Like, you're like me, and that's the feeling that you want to convey, if that's the truth. Like, and to an extent, you're like me, or I'm like you.
100%. That's that selling your soul piece as well, where you're just trying to fake engagement.
Yeah,
you're really that's not a strong man. Like, be yourself. If you're going to sit there and be the man who likes fake model trains because the person you're trying to sell to likes trains, then you are just gigolo. You are selling yourself to please this person.
Yeah, that's not real.
And that seems pretty disingenuous, if you ask me. Sure. And I'd smell it a million miles away. If someone comes around and they like something, maybe about what I'm wearing or the house that I'm in or whatever it is, but they don't actually know what they're talking about, I've smelt it. You're talking crap, and now I know where you're going with this, because don't sell to a businessman.
No, be real.
Who sells themselves. Be honest, especially if they're more senior than you and they've been around the park themselves. Don't embarrass yourself by doing that, because they might be nice and exit you out the door politely, but you're never going to speak to them again.
No, they'll smell it. I agree. So let's see. Another thing, maybe I can group these together. So I did a video on the attitude of going into the call, and I also did, I think that was the next video, on getting commitment, because I remember this was an issue with a lot of junior salespeople I trained for my company, where they struggled to, yes, they could get the appointment, but then the appointment wouldn't show up, or they would show up and they would be disinterested when the second they show up. So if you can go ahead with that, see how you handle that. Let me quickly get a refill while you talk about that, and then we'll continue that. Okay.
First question first. What was it? There was two there.
Like getting them commitment, getting them to actually show up, and then the attitude of you going into the call, and how those two dissect, connect, whatever.
I'll start the other way around with the attitude, and then we'll do the commitment piece. But go get that wine and So with attitude, it's again, that's that frame piece. Know who you're engaging with. For me, I'm a headhunter. I engage with junior level talent all the way through to senior level talent. But the calls are different for each person. For the junior level guys, I really want to get their interest straight away. I know people's attention spans are really short. So I want to go in, it's high energy. Hi, is that XYZ? It's Louis calling from blah, blah. Is now a good time? The pitch and tonality is up and down. However, if you think about high network individuals, the people who have got large bank accounts, right? How they engage with their network, they're not speaking like that. They're speaking very slow, speaking, very methodically about how they engage. And it's actually more like this tone. It's more flat, more serious, because we're adding value. These people at senior levels are not here to talk small talk and, details about family and friends, etc. They might, but if we're talking about that high echelon of business and sales, we're here to perform. We've got a job to do. So it's that frame piece yet again. Know who you're engaging with, and also know your market. Obviously, mine is very white collar, very niche and specialist, ultra corporate. So that's me understanding my marketplace. But if your client is a construction site, these guys are going to be quite laddie, quite cheerful, quite loud, quite boisterous. Mirror that, get to know those people. And it's not that, faking it. You're still going to be yourself, but it's how you engage. So for me, coming up, learning about networking with people, it was people only want to network mainly moving upwards rather than laterally or downwards. No one looks down to network. So it's that knowing who you're engaging with, communication piece of, if they're junior, maybe get them excited, use that pitch and tonality to deliver excitably. But if you're speaking to senior guys, pose yourself as how they're communicating. So point being, just remember how they communicate. Understand, yet again, who you're engaging with, and speak to them how you would expect them to be spoken to. So I was saying, Arno, for my instance, I'm a headhunter. I engage with junior level talent, senior guys. For the junior guys, I'm on the phone really excitable like this. The pitch tonality is up and down, trying to get that buy-in. Whereas when I'm speaking to executives and senior guys, it's the tone like this. It's more serious. It's quite flat, and it's value driven. Because that's how they engage themselves in their own environment. So again, it's that understanding who you're engaging with. I said for my instance, it's very white collar corporate. Whereas if you're engaging with people on a building site, maybe then it's going to be boisterous and quite loud. So again, just understand your client and speak the way they speak, or your product, whoever's buying your product, speak the way they speak. And that's massively important in my opinion. So that's that kind of, it's very much similar to framing to some degree.
Yeah. I agree.
And that kind of, the tonality of it is massively important. You don't speak to the CEO the same way as you would with the guy who just started a week ago.
No. Have you ever had like issues with people not like showing up for appointments? Has that been a thing for you?
That's massive for us. So in headhunting and recruitment and the staffing sector, we can get to the final stages of a process and they're about to start the job. The contracts have been signed. We're about to get the commission through the door. We're about to bill them. We're sending the invoice off. All these things are great. The start date's Monday and it's Friday. The guy says, great, I can't wait to start. And then you don't show up.
Holy shit.
It just happens.
Paperwork has been signed?
They sign contracts and they still don't show up to the job. Then they blank your calls. You don't hear from them again. A lot of that is to do is because you've not done, from my perspective, the journey. The candidate journey is massively important, and it's similar to a sales process or a sales journey, right? You're going to lead them through stages, and if there's massive gaps in between the stage, then there's breakdowns in communication. You want to make sure you've got as much detail as possible, especially in my situation where I'm the middleman between a company that wants talent and talent that wants to work for the best companies. There has to be a constant understanding of what was the conversation with these guys, vice versa. How did it go? What was your thoughts? If there's any nuances that breaking down, you've got no control of it. And then ultimately you should be expecting it to break down at the end because you don't know what's actually going on. So for me, it's not constantly banging the phone to them. Okay, what are you doing today? Over faking it. But another instance, I was speaking to a very senior partner in the United States. He was interviewing at kind of a mid-market competitor of his, and he was going for dinner. Not professionally. He actually knew one of the guys over at this other firm, going for dinner with the wife, his wife, and they was just going to have a chat. Now I remembered that. Okay, cool. So you've got a meeting today with these guys. You're going to go for dinner on Saturday with one of the other guys at the firm. Cool. So I was like, look, I won't catch up with you tomorrow. I won't constantly bang off your phone, but let's reconvene next Monday after you've had dinner with the guys over at the firm and you've had your interview. We'll just have a general catch up then. Sound good? Louis, yeah, great. Look, have a great weekend. I'll speak to you Monday. Now, that's partly that commitment piece because I've told them I'm going to call them. It's not, can we do Monday? I'm going to call you Monday. Let's catch up then. Yeah. Perfect, right? Now, it's slightly different because these guys are very senior. They're not here to bullshit me. If they weren't interested, they'd probably just tell me. But call it Monday. And it's, look, let's talk about your dinner. You went for dinner with Jim. How did that go? It was really great. Really see myself fitting in with these guys. Look, let's not make it professional. Let's talk about your dinner. So you get along with Jim. I'm moving it away from that other piece. And this yet again refers into that earlier piece of rapport building. I want to get to know, your scenario and see your frame from your perspective rather than mine, because you might give me some value to learn something as well. But then secondly, beyond that point of the dinner, I want to find out how your meeting went with the company. That's a data point. So data point A was me collecting kind of personal details from you, how your dinner went with them, which was informal. And then I actually want to go into the serious stuff. It's that journey of me leading it through to that, okay, look, so you had a meeting with XYZ. How did that go? Did that change any emotions towards
You're a
you
real
as a
person,
firm?
right? To them.
Exactly. So
Yes.
that's that piece. But commitment, you got to realize we're dealing with human beings, especially in my nature of business. Both client and product is a human. Whereas most sales jobs is, we've got a car, do you want to buy the car? Yes or no. The car is not going to drive off the lot without the person putting the key in the ignition. Whereas our product and my product is a human being who has the option to not start, or the client has the option to pull out last minute. So there's massive issues with
I can
commitment.
see.
The only way we can do that is be on top of them, have good conversations with them, be someone that they want to deliver for as well, and vice versa. Give them something worth engaging on. But there's certain elements we can't control. We can't manipulate them and brainwash them to say, yeah, we're 100% going to do it, because things can change. People are human beings. But that communication piece of staying on top of them to some degree, but in a nice, friendly way, work.
I don't know if you've ever been in that situation, but I early on when I started my business, I had like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years where like every end of the month, like I ran out of money. So I had too much month at the end of my money. And so I had to sort of pick, like, who am I going to pay? Who am I not going to pay?
Oof.
And every single time, like the human beings got paid, and the big, like whatever big corporation I could, say fuck off, send the bill collectors or the debt collectors, I would fuck them over, because those aren't real. Those not even human beings. Like, obviously human beings work there. That's different. But it's not Louis. It's not Arnold.
It's an ultra large conglomerate that's not really going to be affected by kind of a drip in the bucket, as opposed to someone who's relying on the paycheck at the end of the month to feed their children.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't care. And it's the same with us, right? If I look at my calendar, I'm running out of time, which happens these days a lot. Like the first dude that I'm gonna blow off is probably gonna be a salesperson, and I won't feel bad about it at all. But if I know you, well, yeah, obviously I'm gonna feel bad about it, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that whatever conversation we should have or would have, that happens happens ASAP, at least, right?
Yeah,
because it's a human being.
Exactly that.
All right, so, and that sort of, I think that sort of goes back into rapport as well, where if you do some kind of work to do that, yeah, you have a way better chance of them showing up, actually, instead of you just forcing it through their down their throat, and then the day comes and no, I'm not gonna, let me not.
No one respects the faceless salesman.
Yeah,
let's put it that way. If they've never met you and all you're doing is communicating via email, all they've got to do to blow you off is send you an email back.
Yeah,
they're going to do treat you the same way you treat them. So make sure your standard of delivery is very high, and they're going to feel pretty shitty and pretty bad if they do blow you off. Make your service that good that they don't want to blow you off. Even if they have no interest in buying, they still want to let you in the door to have a conversation. If you've got that commitment, we can knock the door again in 6 months. So always be the best you can be. Don't try and cut the corners. Don't be a faceless man behind a keyboard and a screen just sending emails, canvassing everybody. It's not personal, and you're not doing anything special.
It's not the same.
You're not going to win that way. It's not the same.
It's to be human to human. This is true.
Exactly,
and the higher ticket you go, the more important this becomes, I believe. Yeah,
indeed.
So, all right. So let's see. We have the right mindset. We're building rapport. Now, for me, the next step is always going to be sort of qualifying, asking questions, and seeing where are they. Is that the same in your process?
100%. So I've just started my business. So for me at the moment, it's client acquisition. Go out and win business. There's hundreds of thousands of people unemployed in the UK. That's not my kettle of fish that I'm looking for. There's also hundreds of thousands of people who are employed that are highly skilled. So there's no shortage of talent if you're a good headhunter, but you need somewhere to send the talent. So for me, it's about going and engage with firms at the moment, see who wants my services, where I can add value, and then providing that value, which is going to make me large sums of money. So for me, that qualification piece is massively important. There's loads of ways that can come about. One of the clients I'm working on at the moment put out on LinkedIn that they need help recruiting. Now, there's 100 fucking flyers flying around this little pile of shit trying to win this business at the moment. So I'm not massively, drastically, hoping that I'll win this account. But that's one way you can win business, is knowing your network and being in that network, being around the right groups. That's cool. But just calling up and introducing yourself to business owners, I've got time to speak to people. I've got time to engage with other business owners, especially if they've got something that might be valuable to me. Now, if you're a business owner and you're not considering hiring as a massive importance to your business, then your business probably won't last very long. So everyone respects what we do as a business. And if you've got a business that is similar in that nature, that people need it, then you can have a conversation about it, whether the time's now to collaborate or it's 6 months or in 12 months. We're having a conversation. And this is what people really overcomplicate. I'll probably say this a lot, but that's all we do as business people is communicate. Networking is just picking up the phone and having a conversation. Hi, look, my name's Louis. I'm the founder of TSG. You might have seen me, you might not have. The conversation remains the same. You know, I want to provide value by doing XYZ. Is there room to collaborate? No, the timing's not right. Look, you said the timing's not right. I don't want to be a hindrance. When can I give you a call back? When's good? Well, look, we've just hired 3 people. I'm writing that down. We've just hired 3 people. That's probably 14 grand worth of revenue for me that I've missed out on. So I'm going to make sure I note that down. Again, make sure you've got the details. So look, when's the next hiring run? Well, look, we're going to see how this first 3 hires get on. And then maybe in 6 months' time, look at bringing on some more once kind of the dust settles. Look, perfect. Look, man, I'm going to follow your business on LinkedIn. Make sure I know more about you guys. Give you a call in 6 months.
Okay.
Collaborate right now. What am I going to do? Keep knocking on this guy's door the next day. Hi, man. Called you yesterday.
I'm back.
You said you were interested, but you know, I want to come in and push myself in the door. You sure you're not interested? No, mate. Fuck off. So have that communication. Some people you can not listen the next day. You might catch someone on a bad day. No, mate, not right. I'm in a meeting. Hang on.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, look, sorry, mate. I caught you at a bad time. My apologies. Calling unsolicited. Look, this is who I am. This is what I do. Is there room to collaborate? That's all we're doing. And if there is, do you know what? It might be worth us having a conversation, Louis. Let's have a chat. Cool. Let's do a Teams. Or actually, do you want to meet and have a coffee? No, Louis, I want to go for a beer. Perfect. What's your favorite pub? We're not going straight.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go for a drink. Let's have a chat. And then I'm going to go there. And then we're going to find out, you know, who they are. Tell me about your business. So this is what I do. I can headhunt any talent you need for your company. I've got a track record of doing so. I know you are an XYZ firm, but tell me kind of the intrinsic details of who you are, what makes you guys unique. They're going to sit there and ramble on for 20 minutes. Anyone can talk about their business or themselves. So let them talk. Yet again, take that data, take the information you can get, and just have conversations. Revert that, literally say back to them things they've said. That's another nuance of mirroring. Just repeat what they've said to you. And then when the time comes of commitment, hey man, look, you said you need XYZ. I can deliver that. Is there room for us to partner on this? Yeah. Yeah, but you said, you know, that there's an implication if you don't deliver on this. I can provide you that value. You know, if I can deliver XYZ in this time frame and it's going to sort this problem out, what's it worth? Fundamentally, that's the conversation we're having. If you have enough of those conversations, you're going to win business. So it always touches back into that volume piece as well.
Yeah, true. And a question that I always often get in terms of qualification is like, all right, so I start the sales call and then I immediately start asking questions. But I thought it was supposed to be like listening to what they need, and then I do my presentation. And what if they get pissed off that I'm asking questions? Why do I even have the right to ask these questions?
You don't. You don't, especially if you're the faceless salesperson. No, simply put, you actually don't. So don't be that faceless person. So for me, when I'm headhunting someone, I know I'm calling them at a shitty time. They're probably at their desk. They've got a big fat manager over their shoulder pushing them about targets. The time for a headhunter to call me is not now. So yet again, I understand the scenarios. I understand the situation they're in. Yeah. Often it's, I'm about to go into a meeting, or I'm in a meeting. Well, you fucking not, because you wouldn't answer a phone. So I know I've just caught you at a bad time. Look, man, I'm a headhunter. This is what I do. I know I caught you at a bad time. When can I give you a call back? Louis, I'm not really interested at the moment. Now's not right. Don't worry, mate. I'm going to give you a call back. Sure. It's that first commitment piece. I'm not selling glasses to the blind man. This is where people really misconstrue sales. We can't sell anything until we get the right level of information from the people we're speaking to. Yeah. So that for me is massively important. If you're getting on the phone, everyone's had the telemarketing calls from Indian insurance guys. Your life insurance. Are you a smoker? I let these guys run it through, but they're not actually asking questions that are valuable to them. They're just reading off a script going in 100 miles an hour. We spoke about this before,
Yes.
and it doesn't work. Why are you asking me questions? You're just scrutinizing me over the phone, and I'm actually quite offended.
Yeah.
You're not treating me as a human
Annoying.
being. You're not seeing me as valuable. You're just seeing me as someone you might be able to broker some insurance to, that you might be able to make a little bit of money on. It's not cool. So always find out immediately, is there just fucking room for us to collaborate? And that doesn't mean, is there room for you to pay me for something? Can I add value to you?
Yeah.
You know, you might not be looking for a job, but I want to make sure you're aware of my position in the marketplace. I can introduce you to off-market and exclusively retained jobs. You know, the stuff that isn't available to job boards and social medias. I'm worth knowing when the time's right for you to move. When's good for us to have a conversation?
True.
Louis, look, I'm not moving right now. I've got a massive commission check coming in 3 months, but you know, I'm not quite happy about the culture at this firm. I get no work-life balance. If you can find me something like that, then it might be worth having a chat. Listen, mate, perfect. I'll let you crack on. Get that commission in. Enjoy it. We'll speak in 3 months. He's going to get his commission check. He's not leaving anytime soon. He wants his bonus. Cool. But I know he's looking for something with a bit more work-life balance, a little bit, you know, working from home flexibility. If I find that in a week's time, I'm calling you back. Hi, mate. I know you said you're not moving for 3 months, but that opportunity you said you couldn't find, I've got it. Is it worth us having a chat? And actually, what do you think about me setting up a non-committal discussion with these guys? They understand you're working. They don't expect you to move straight away. But I think it'd be good to bridge that gap now whilst you're comfortable. Just have a chat. How does that sound? They say no, they're a fucking dumbass. I've got what you want. So yeah, it's that value piece of you know, be respectful to who they are, be respectful of their time. Don't just get on a call blouting out loads of questions. They don't know if you're adding any value.
Yeah.
They don't know if you're going to deliver anything. Who am I asking questions to? Is this an online survey? Is this the police? Is this the tax man? Who's asking questions?
Yeah.
Be very quick about it.
You sort of need to get permission to ask the questions even. And like I remember for me, when someone would call in to the office, I would ask them questions right away, but they would make sense. Like, okay, so you're selling your house, yes. And like, okay, have you already bought a new house? Which is a logical question, right? Yep. And they would answer, okay. And then, are you like, what's the reason you're selling your house? Sometimes it was like divorce, sometimes something else, doesn't matter. Okay. And have you talked to like a mortgage broker to see like the new house? And all of that stuff sort of flows naturally. Yeah. As long as you stay, if I would ask them like, okay, and how old is your son? Well, that's weird.
Yeah, from one track to another. Yeah. It doesn't make
sense. No. And how much do you weigh? Can you send a picture of yourself? I don't know. That's a little bit weird. But if it flows naturally, it's fine. 100%. And then after a while, you can sort of stretch the boundaries of what is naturally. So in terms of like, if let's say you're doing, I don't know, video editing or something, well, it would make sense to say, okay, so are you in YouTube? Yes. How many subs? X. Yeah. Right. And how many like how many views does the average video get? And then you can work from there. But you sort of first have to build that bridge, right?
100%. 100%. I had a conversation with a candidate, junior level guy. I think he was only 18, 19, looking to break into sales. Okay. And we're just having a conversation, and I was asking him, what is it? You know, insurance sales, financial services, recruitment, automotive, where are you trying to go? And throughout the call, he was like, look, I'm really into my cars. He was a right Jack the lad, Essex boy through and through. Someone that could easily get a job because that's what the industry loves, right? But he's saying how he loves cars. And I just said, look, you said you like cars, man. What's your favorite car? I just literally stopped at the end of the track. Let's not make this personal. Look, you said you like cars, mate. What's your favorite car? You know what? I really like my hyper cars, like Kin & Zegs and da-da-da-da. He's like, what's your favorite car, Louis? And I was like, well, look, my favorite car is got to be like a nice Porsche, like a bright red GT3 RS. And he was like, I don't like them. They're all part of the same group. You might as well have a Volkswagen at that point. And I was having a good chat. But then naturally, I'm saying, look, if you've got an affinity for cars, exactly. At that point, I knew he's got an affinity for cars. You're probably going to be good for automotive sales. Like you're gonna be passionate about it. So
it makes sense. Yeah.
We just had that conversation that flowed based around that stuff because I'm listening as well while speaking. But you made a point where you said it just flows naturally. Yes. But it only flowed naturally for you, Arno, because you knew your fucking shit. You knew what you was talking about. And this is where people start fucking up and falling over their own words is because they're sitting there and they're asking the questions that they probably know are preemptively prepared, but then they run off that script, they run off that kind of list of questions, and now it's free flow.
Yeah.
And this is where your brain starts doing 100 miles an hour, and you start
Yeah.
panicking, and you're asking shit questions. So look, tell me about your interest in selling your house. Yeah, look, you know, my husband just died. He was the financier. I need to downsize. I've got half the budget. Yeah. How did he die? Like, that's not fucking cool. That's not how we do it.
Why did you murder him?
Exactly. Why did you hide the body? Like, don't panic. Slow down, breathe, pause,
Relax.
chill the fuck out. Think of another logical question. Don't just ask random questions. I think that's a good caveat to add, is make sure your questions are massively logic based.
Yeah.
And it goes in any nuance, whether it's business or personal. You
Yeah.
can always ask a question for what they've said. I'm really into horses. Oh, so does that mean you're an equestrian? Oh, no, I'm not really into riding horses, but I love, you know, going to watch it at Ascot or wherever it is. Oh, are you a betting person? Yeah, I like a little bet now and again. Oh, that's fair. Look, I'm not really into horse racing, but that's great. So you're just going to continue digging on stuff and go on to the next point. Keep digging, and then you've actually got a massive fucking list of stuff you know about this person.
Of course.
So
and
I think
much to latch
really
on
important.
to.
So much.
Yeah.
People ask one question and immediately jump to another question, which is kind of a different point.
So annoying.
There's more to add.
Like a weird example, but I was talking to a guy. I was in the Netherlands. I had to do some speaking, and talking to a guy, and he was telling some story about how every once in a while he liked to do ayahuasca. So the
Interesting.
hallucinogenic,
Yeah.
So, and he said, yeah, this shaman, he sold me chocolates 2 years ago, and they're like ayahuasca infused chocolates or something, like a whole story, right? And he said, yeah, so a couple months ago, I went to some place, and you can travel with ayahuasca infused chocolate because the dogs can't sniff it. And he's telling the story, and like he's in the airport when he's in like the time frame of the story, and I interrupt him. I say, hey, are you traveling with 2-year-old chocolate? That sounds kind of gross. And I see his eye light up. He said, no, I bought new ones in the meantime, but you did catch that. You actually listening to what I'm saying. So yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, right? If someone is telling a story, you should, kind of listen to what he's saying. But people are so used to no one paying fuck all attention that they're actually surprised when you listen to what they're saying and you regurgitate it back to them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
Really is. Really is. That listening piece and just regurgitate, and you hit the nail on the head. You can just repeat back what people have said to you. So yeah, again, an example, Louis, look, man, we've got a massive need for a new managing director to join the business. They need to have 10 years plus experience working at a medical firm. So look, you need, and I want to make sure that I've got this clear. You need managing director, medical experience, circa 10 years plus, of knowledge base and a network in this arena, London based. Is that right? It's so fucking simple. There was nothing difficult about that. Just repeat back what they've said. Let them know you've took them in. Let them know you've listened. Yet again, so many salespeople are just going on, all right, look, I'll find that for you.
Yeah.
I don't know you know what I'm looking for. And then you're going to deliver something shit. And you've got to refine your search. And it's not the way to go. It's really not. So yeah, make sure you listen. Make sure you know who they're engaging with. Your brain is a database. You learn this over time. You can't perfect it straight away.
No, it's fine.
You'll just naturally get into it in the end, where you're understanding people who you're engaging with, and you're storing automatically little key pieces of information that they've told you, whether it's business related or not. You'll just start to do it, and that's when things really start to heat up for you in your business.
Yeah, you're going to be shit at the start. That's
100%.
Fine. We all are, right? So at some point, for me, I remember when I was training salespeople, or when I was doing it myself. So we get rapport, we get through the qualification, and at some point, I have to tell them about what I do. I have to do sort of like a presentation, and I used basically the same 2 frameworks: just problem, agitate, solve, and then attention, interest. I thought it was attention, interest, decision, action, which was from Glengarry Glen Ross. And then all the nerds say, it's attention, interest, desire, action. but I'm just going to say decision because Alec Baldwin said it and he was right. Yeah. He was G.
Yeah, who's more cool? Always
Yeah.
fucking be closing.
Yeah. Remember the brass
Coffees
balls?
for closers.
Oh, I want those brass balls. You remember him taking them out of the briefcase?
Yeah.
Brad, I want those. Those are awesome. But that's a side point. So in terms of like presentation wise, I'm curious, like in your business, how does that work? Like, do you have like a framework that you use or how does it look?
So I saw the presentation you done recently, and I noticed you was walking about a little bit. One trick that I do when I present, and a very wise man in recruitment taught me this. He would have his pocket square or a handkerchief, whatever you want to call it, right? And he'll just drop it on the floor, and he would know that's center. That's where to stand. There's nothing worse than a fidget, nothing worse than someone who's really agitated, moving about constantly. That's not cool. So he'll just drop the handkerchief in the middle of the floor. And first and foremost, that's quite fucking interesting. Why has he just done that? They're going to pay attention now. What the fuck is this guy doing? But he could then walk about. There's no point starting your presentation here, and then you're over here, and then you're over there. It's okay to walk back and forth, but always finish back where you started. That's cool. So that was one thing you taught me. There's no framework. Yeah, again, that presentation is about, look, I'm going to talk about who I am, provide value. You're here because you've already demonstrated. No one goes to a presentation or a seminar or any of these things if they've not got some form of interest. You don't go to a trading seminar if you've not got no fucking interest in starting or getting into it. So you know they've got some level of interest. So all you've got to do at that presentation is prove that you've got fucking value to add. Don't make it too serious. You can joke about it. Yeah, again, you've done that perfectly in your one. You was really making it lighthearted, getting them engaged by being funny. Now you're not a comedian, but you're a human being, and so are these people. Yet again, you're just treating them like normal fucking people, having a conversation with them. I didn't finish the presentation video you shared with me, but no doubt that if you're selling something to these guys, there'll be further conversations at the very fucking least. Yeah, you come across human, come across interpersonal. You was engaging with people that were listening. You was giving eye contact. You used body language, hand gestures. These things are all fucking important. So framework. No, there's a million different ways you can sell. There's so many different techniques. Everyone's going to find their own way that works for them, and you're probably going to develop your own way over time that works for you specifically. So I won't sit here and say, yeah, go in there and deploy a spin or deploy X or deploy Y. It might not work for you. It might not work for the introvert. It might work only for the extrovert. It might work for the entrepreneur rather than the entrepreneur. It really depends on who you are as a human being, but you're only going to figure that out by trial and error, by fucking up, by trying things that you've not tried before, and not getting comfortable with what you do know works for you, because there might be something that works better for you. So those are nuances that I think are really important.
I agree.
Really cool. Let me just go get a charger, because otherwise I'm going to hang up on you. Which
sure, no worries.
Just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, no worries. So in the meantime, let me fill up some of the conversation time. I had to do some public speaking, and I need to put together a speech, and I'll be doing some lessons about this as well. But like one of the solid frameworks that I use, be it sales presentation, be it speech, be it story, it's just problem, agitate, solve, or solution. So like one example, I told a story about flying on an airplane and having to fly economy class. Now, obviously, I told it with some panache. I'm told with some storytelling, right? But so the problem was I had to fly economy class from Amsterdam to Vienna, which, I mean, to be fair, that's not much of a problem. Like it's a 2-hour flight or something, maybe less, and you won't die on economy class. Come on now. But I had to pose it as a problem. But once you pose the problem, now you have to agitate. So you have to sort of poke into the wound. What I did, I said, well, we all know the two things that are super annoying about flying economy class versus business class. And I started out with saying, well, what everyone knows, immediately you fly somewhere, and the second, like the millisecond that the wheels of the airplane hit the ground, all of the normies get up, and they're all hot and sweaty, and they start climbing over you like like something from like a zombie movie or something, and like they're elbowing you in the back, and you're sitting there like Stephen Hawking, being like, "Ah!" and it's gonna take like 4 hours before you get out of the plane because the normies are super slow with everything, and then all the time they're clutching their their luggage, and that was one of the points of Agitate, where you sort of take a relatively mundane point and you agitate it, make it visual, because it's really not that bad. It's pretty bad, but it's not that bad. And the daytime television commercials do a great job at like the Telcel, I don't know, like the stuff that you buy on television, the infomercial stuff. Holy shit, they do a great job at this. Remember the Tupperware container, and then someone opens a cabinet, and it's like they get, like an avalanche of things over them. Oh my god! Yeah, it's the most retarded thing, but it's the same formula. It's problem, agitate, solve.
So I missed quite a large point of what he was making there, but I think what you're trying to say is they make shit sound fun. There's nothing cool and sexy about Tupperware boxes, but they're making a scenario where this new Tupperware box is going to be so fucking useful for you. No longer are you going to open up this Tupperware cupboard and you're going to get bombarded with plastic that you've had from the Chinese you ordered, or the fucking the Asda brand fucking glass Tupperware that's just smashed all everywhere. Yeah, they're making a scenario where this product is going to save your fucking life. They're all going to stack up inside of each other, whatever it might be. You need to buy this. They're making shit fun.
It's the same thing you do with headhunting, probably. Like, oh my god, you're being like crushed under goals and deadlines and targets, and you're working all day, every day, and you're working 26 hours a day, and they're just taking advantage of you. Yeah, well, yeah. Going to be the same at the next job, but slightly less bad. So but we don't say that. Anyway, so all right, so we get the presentation part down, and then at a certain point, we did the small talk, we did qualification, we did the presentation, and now we're moving towards the close. Sometimes you get objections in this stage. Sometimes you get them afterwards, but for for convenience sake, let's talk about objections for a second. How do you view that part of the sales process?
That's a natural part of the process. You can't. I've never had a sales process where there's not been an objection. It's not happened for me, and I've done this 10 years.
Yeah, it's weird.
Thousands of calls, hundreds of deals. There's always been an objection along the way. That doesn't mean they're not going to buy or they're not going to move for you. They want more information. You've missed out on something they're looking for, and they're actually kind of giving you a cue to redeliver it before you fuck up. So that's how you've got to see it. Don't see it as a massive negative. This person's given objection. No, you've probably just not done something that you should have done that you now have an opportunity to do.
So you've missed
something. They've given you an opportunity to clear it up. Now, it depends on what the objection is. Give me a scenario. Give me an objection. I'll see the best way.
So I covered 3 objections basically. So and these are pretty similar for people. One is a variant of it's too expensive or I can't afford it. So that's one, right? 2 is I want to think about it. And 3 is just send me some information in the mail or an email, whatever. Those are the 3 things that I see again and again and again.
So 2 of those are questions that I'd ask back. The first one is price. They're going to go, maybe too expensive. I'm going to touch on that implication that they're going to have by not getting what they need. Now, for me, it's talent. So we need a very senior guy to join the business. They need to do this. But if they don't join, we're going to lose 500 grand worth of revenue over the next quarter.
Yeah.
Well, okay, what's more important? You spending 50 grand for me to hire this person, or the 450 grand you would net by me placing them?
Yeah, but maybe I'm just not sure that you can deliver on what you promise.
Well, I mean, look, again, I'll zoom out of this, but I work on a contingent basis. It's success fee. I only get paid if I deliver. So I can just play that card straight away. Well, look, give it a try. If I'm crap and I'm saying I can deliver something and I can't, this will be the last time we speak.
Yes.
If I can, then I've solved your problems. You said you've got a net of 500 grand that you need a managing director to come in and close. If you don't get that, what's the bigger loss? Working with the recruiter or losing out on 500 grand revenue over the next 3 months?
Solid.
Yeah,
Yep.
that does make a little bit more sense. Look, completely get it. It's not an easy decision to make, but I can help you.
Yeah.
I need this for you to enable me to help you. Reclose. Go back around that circle of, look, I know I can provide value. I'm not asking for no money up front. I work on success. If I'm saying I can deliver, it's because I know I bloody can. My track record is X, Y, Z. You can go back through these nuances without panicking. I've got 10 years. I've got a network.
Yeah.
Keep it calm. Look, I work on a
Right.
success fee model. If I can deliver this, then you'll pay me. Let me put some stuff on the table in front of you. You let me know if it's the ballpark of what you're interested in. And if there is, then we can talk about you paying me. But just to get it straight, my fees are 30%, just so you understand.
Yeah.
You're going to reclose. It's just having, yet again, another conversation. But I can only flow like that because I understand my business. I understand my position as
Yeah, of
the
course.
person who
Yeah.
goes through my search. So that's what I'll do in that situation. You're going to moan about money, but I already understand the implication you've got if you don't get what you need. You need new aircon units for your office. Oh, what happens if you don't get the aircon units? Well, you know what? In the UK, if it gets too hot in offices, we have to legally let them go home. And if I let them go home, I'm going to miss out on days and days of money, which is going to affect the business. Well, that sounds like a pretty big problem. Don't you agree? Yeah, man. Well, look, I can get you aircon units for this. Is it worth it? This is the lead times on aircons. I can put the order in today. It's going to take 6 weeks for the aircons to come. The heat ain't coming until July. We've got a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Sound good? Like, I
Let's
really
do
like
it
the yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not gonna be the fear seller. Oh, if you don't, do you understand the laws in the UK that you can get in a lot of trouble if you make them come to work?
You're gonna go to jail if you don't.
You're gonna go
yes
to jail.
now.
You're gonna get fines. They're gonna go. This guy's literally just trying to scare me into getting money off me yet again. So that's yet again a point where people misconstrue that fear selling element. But I'm just gonna. I already know. Like, I've asked the questions before of what happens if you don't get this. You have a need because you've told me you have a need at this point.
Yes.
What happens if you don't feel that need?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this is how I get affected or my business gets affected. If they start giving me nuances of complaint and objection, I'm just going to go back to that. Well, look, you said there's a massive implication to your business.
It makes sense.
You don't get this. Go back to it. They might just be a cunt and they don't want to buy from you and they've dragged you through the process. You're going to experience that, guys. But 99%, you've just missed a trick and you want to just go back through having, again, things they've said, the conversation you've had already, and just bring some stuff out of that library of information you've got from them. That's what you've got to do. The first one was money. What was the other two?
So, all right. So everything you say makes sense, but let me just think it over and I'll get back to you.
That's literally made my heart drop because everyone hates that one because
yes, I do as well. I have to say
it's so awkward because
yes.
I want to find out that I should already know this, but are you a decision maker at this point? Like, what the fuck have you got to think about? We're here to have this conversation, you fucking idiot. That's literally the thought process of every salesperson. So any business owner watching this, don't be offended, right? That's what we're thinking as the salesperson. What the fuck do you mean you need to think about it? That's why we're having this conversation, right? How do I deal with that? I want to know what's there to think about. But just so I know and I can prepare for our next conversation, Arno, what really do you need to think about?
For me personally,
again, ask more questions.
Mm-hmm. No, for me personally, I never make big decisions without thinking about it. So, I'll think about it and maybe an answer will come to me in a dream, or I'm going to do ayahuasca over the weekend. Maybe the shaman will tell me. I don't know. No.
In my head, I'd start thinking this guy's a fucking bullshitter, first and foremost, and I wouldn't expect much to come back from it because he's probably not interested. That's what I'd get from that tonality of, I'm just going to think about it over the weekend. It can't be that important to you. Yet again, you just add that importance. You go back to, hey, man, look, yet again, the same thing applies from the previous objection. You said there's a need for aircon units. How long have we got for you to think about this really and truly before your business starts to get fucked? That's kind of the line you want to go down in a very professional way.
It's rough, right? Yeah.
That is such a shit question because that shows a lack of commitment for them to fix the problem.
Yeah,
and the only way
you feel like they're bullshitting you. Like, come on, we've established this. So personally, what I would do, let's take the air conditioning example. I would probably say, hey man, I definitely understand. Like if I make any big decisions, usually, I mean, it's worth it to, sort of think about it. Good thing we sort of already did that. So we went over this in this conversation. Like what we've established is XYZ. So I mean, it makes complete sense. And if I was in your situation, I would probably just say, yeah, let's do this so we can get this started so you're in time. Unless like there was some sort of point of missing information. Like is there anything that you're like that I was unclear about, like that you want to know more about? Let me know, because otherwise, like, let's get this started.
Yeah, that's perfect. I love that.
Idiot.
But also, you could, you fucking idiot. Literally. The other way you could go about it potentially is apply a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Touch on that implication, but be like, look, if you are interested, Arno, and you need these aircon units, let's have a chat on Monday. I'll let you think about it over the weekend, but I need to call you back on Monday, because if I don't, we're going to miss the window to get this delivery ASAP.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Yeah, sure. That will
I understand this isn't some small decision to make. We're talking a deal that's going to cost thousands of pounds. Not a small decision. But let's think about if we don't get those aircon units. I don't place the order on Monday. It's going to take longer than the 6-week lead time. It's that time of the year. Everyone's ordering aircon units. So we need to make the decision as quick as possible. But I'm respectful of your time as well. So go away, think about it. I'll give you a call 10 o'clock Monday. We can make a decision then or not. Sound good?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's another way to do it. That's the only other way I could think of doing it. But really and truly, that guy's a fucking arsehole. What have you really got to think about? If I've got a massive problem with my business and someone's called me with a solution and I'm saying, maybe not, it's either that I'm going to go compare the market and think of there might be someone cheaper to do it. But then there's other nuances. You know, my lead times are 6 weeks. You might find cheaper. Their lead time might be 12 weeks. So there's nuances like that. I'm going to call you Monday. That's the deadline for me to know you're serious. And there isn't a deadline for me to get you fucking aircon units on Monday. But that's where I'm going to cut the relationship with you. Because if I call you Monday and you're still going,
you make it. You make it. Yeah.
So if I call you on Monday and you're still iffy, I'm still not quite sure, then I'm not wasting no more time as a business owner calling you and contacting you, because you're not making me no money. So as much as you have to be genuine and interest, don't waste your time on someone who's just stringing you along. Say, look, man, I said I'll give you a call Monday. We said we'd agree. Today was the day we'd kind of have a yes or no on this. I can place the order now. I've actually got the system up in front of me. I've got 10 aircon units. It's telling me here 6 weeks. I can place the order right now. Is it
Say the word?
Pulling the trigger? Say
the word.
No. Look, man, best of luck with your search. I'll give you a call in 6 more weeks, see how you've got on. That's all you can do. I'm not going to chase a dead lead. At that point, when you're asking questions like that, you seem maybe a little bit dead in the water. If you still do kind of the objection pieces of, look, if you're 2-3 calls after he said I need to think about it, and he's still not made a decision, he's probably not going to buy it. So let's not waste that time. Keep knocking on the door. That's not a dead cow. It's not going to happen.
So I do agree. Like it's a natural instinct for human beings whenever a big decision comes up to sort of put it off, and then some people just don't have the balls. It happens, or like they're not completely sold on whatever you're selling, which is probably the the higher odds chance. You messed up somewhere, which is fine. We all do. We all mess up. But you sort of want to circle back and give them a chance to sort of let you know what it is they're struggling with. But because there is something. Like if you're the air conditioning example, if we told you that you're going to get like 3 staff people are going to get murdered by the heat in 6 weeks, and the only thing you have to do
$250 million, that sort of stuff. Like.
Very, very telling that you're going to put it in dollars. Well, I'll put it in human lives, but okay. Okay.
Make my position very clear.
Solid. But if you if I tell you if I push this button right now, I can push it right now, and your
fingers on the button. I can press it.
Tell me. No, think about it. What the hell is there to think about? Like I can push it. You're done. The problem is solved. It's off your list.
What you've got to do then is wait 6 more weeks and your problems disappear. How does that sound? I still need to think about. Fuck off then.
Exactly. Let's say you have testicular cancer. You have testicular cancer. Like you now, instead of 2 balls, you have 17 balls. And then the doctor calls you, says, "Hey, I can put you up for surgery on Saturday, or I could put you up next year. What would you like?"
Hey man, I've got appointments on Saturday. I can't quite make it. I need to think about it as well. It's quite a big decision to make.
Exactly. This is
Yeah.
weird.
It
Yes.
doesn't make sense. It
I
doesn't make
enjoy
sense.
17 balls.
Exactly.
I don't know. Yeah, that's weird.
The last thing you could possibly do in that scenario of the aircon units and someone saying they need to think about it is I'll probably actually call up second in command and just say, look, man, I tried to get through to Dave. I couldn't get through to him.
Yeah.
Let me speak to you very briefly. I'm actually trying to provide a solution for the aircon problem you guys have at the moment. I haven't been able to get through to Dave for the last couple of days. He had a chance to think about it. How important is this for the business? This person's second in command. They're going to be able to apply some internal pressure now on Dave, who has too much to think about. We can add that influence internally from them to say, look, man, I've been trying to get through to Dave. He said he's interested and wants to have a think about it. How big of a problem is it for the business currently? I'm not telling them to go and add influence, but there's a small chance that person might go and say to him, Dave, I spoke to Louis at Aircons for you. And he said he's ready to fire off. He gave you a call. He said he'll give you a call back later on. Now he's thinking about it. The whole business knows if we don't get the aircon units, it's because of you're being a cunt, Dave. So it's audible to the other part of the firm, and they're gonna fucking string you up by your 17 balls if you don't fucking deliver on this. So that's probably another thing I'll do. It's a little bit sneaky, 100%. I don't 100% recommend that, but I'd probably just put my balls on the line and say, look, I'm gonna call second in command, speak to them about why Dave's being a cunt, and say, look, does Dave often take really long to think about decisions? Is that genuinely who he is? Does he take quite a while to decide on business matters? Yeah,
Dave, 17 balls. Come on. Now.
Yeah, exactly. Got a lot to think about. So that's another thing to do is go to party number 2. He might not be the yes man, but they have influence over the yes. So that's another point that we maybe should touch on later on in another video is understanding the points of influence in that chain of command and how you can influence that chain of command as well by speaking to different levels of that.
Yeah, I'm sort of how do you say it? Writing out phase 3 and all the steps. So we'll be in touch about that. But
absolutely
basically,
on fire.
Yeah, going to look into that. Like, what are the open loops that we need to close off? So that's coming. So let's see. For the last step of phase 2 is closing the sale, which is I read quite a lot of books about this actually, and I ended up throughout most of my sales career using like 1 or 2 closes. So how do you close the sale? How do you handle that?
Yeah, so for me, I'm using this one close at the moment. It works really well for me. As you said, this is kind of my second close that I'm using now, which is so much more straight line, a bit Jordan Belfort-esque. I'm not selling dicey stocks. I'm selling high value talent. So it's a little bit different, right? So my close, and this goes for both the candidate and the client, but hey, man, I can definitely deliver on this. I love the company you work for. I'm actually quite excited about working on this project for you. Is there any reason as to why you wouldn't deploy me? So I want to find out last minute before I do the final part of the close if there's any final objections, any reason or excuse you might come up with as to why you're going to tell me no. Do you know what, Louis? No, do you know what? I really like the sound of it, but I'm going to speak to the rest of the partners and we're going to get a decision made at the board level and then we'll come back to you. Look, great, man. I'm really excited about doing this. I know I can provide this value. I look forward to working with you. Are we going to get off that call and you're going to send over your terms of business? It's going to get signed or it's not. Yeah. That's how I'm closing. I'm going to reaffirm that I can deliver on this. I can deliver what you're looking for. I'm really excited about this project. I love the business and what you guys are doing. I'm really enthusiastic about it. People love that. People love that you're engaged on what they believe in as well. You're on the same side. Make them know you're on the same team. It's not me versus you versus the problem. It's me and you versus the problem. Yeah. I have the solution. Really love what you guys are doing. Absolutely amazing. Just before I let you go, is there any reason as to why you wouldn't deploy me on this? I love the idea. I've got a few other conversations with other firms doing similar, but I'll let you know. Perfect. Look, I'm not going to sit here and start slandering other firms. I know I'm good. I know I can deliver. There's no point in me sitting going, there's other companies in play. They already know I work on success fee model. They know who I am. We had this conversation. I've done the best I can do. Then the final close, look, I'd love to work on this. I'm going to send you over terms of business, get them back to me, and immediately I'll start work on it. There's no yes or no. I'm going to send you my terms of business. You're going to have them in your inbox, and it's yes or no at that point. So it's very straight line. I've reaffirmed my position. Let them know I'm passionate about what they believe in as well. We're on the same team. Here's my terms of business. Sign them. I'll immediately start working on it. If I deliver, you pay me. If not, we never speak again. That's how I close. That's kind of the framework for me at my close point of that conversation. But that's often on a video call face to face. It's not via an email. I've never closed by an email, guys. Don't do it.
No, I don't like that at all. No. Well, I mean, No, I don't like it. I'm genuinely thinking back. Like, have I closed through DMs or emails? Probably, maybe, but the absolute vast majority, and we're talking like, well, easily 99%, probably more, has been me talking to them either on the phone, usually in person, sometimes video call,
Yeah.
and basically the close shouldn't be that hard. It should just be like the logical, natural conclusion of what you've been
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. But
Should be
I literally,
straightforward.
yeah, straightforward. Don't overcomplicate it. Let's not, again, get lazy at this point. But yeah, again, that gives you more to talk about. So now you've sent them the emails of terms of business. Hi, man. I know we spoke a couple of hours ago. I just want to make sure you've got the email I just sent you. I just want to make sure it's got to you in time. I don't want to respect your time as well. Did terms of business arrive? Great. Look, have a think about it. Get them signed, and when you're ready, we'll catch up soon. When they sign terms, or if they don't sign terms, how did them calls go with the other partners you was gonna have a conversation with?
Yeah.
What was they like? Yeah, they weren't as good. I didn't believe in them. They didn't really give me the idea that they was bought into the business idea. They're going to give you more to speak about. Yeah, again, don't just go, I'm going to send you terms of business, and then you vanish. You never speak to them again. Send them terms of business. Hi, mate. Just want to make sure you've got the email sent over to you. Yeah, again, I'm really excited about working on this, so I thought I'd send it over. Where the case up? Perfect. Once they sign the terms, again, a phone call. Hey, mate, just got the signed agreement through. Perfect. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start my search for the managing director. It's going to take the XYZ. Give me some time, but I'll start getting profiles over to you ASAP. Yeah. Thanks for doing business with me. I look forward to delivering.
So they know that
it's more conversations.
Yeah, I can cross it off my list. It's being worked on. Done.
That's it.
Yeah.
End of week 1, have a follow-up. Hey, mate, just want to let you know I've reached out to 100 partners at this level. No immediate interest right now, but I'm having conversations. I'll keep you posted. Do you want communication like this? Would you rather me give you calls weekly, bi-weekly, end of the month, just giving you status reports? How do you want it? Yeah, man, look, I like the weekly calls. It's really good to keep my finger on the pulse. Perfect. I'll give you a call next Friday. Hey, mate, I've got 2 profiles I want to send over to you. Would you want me to send you the profiles now? You got time to look at it whilst we're on the phone? No? Perfect. I'll send it over to you. Have a look over it. I'll give you a call back tomorrow. Perfect. Hey, man, sent you those 2 profiles. What did you think? Okay, one of them wasn't right. One of them was. Okay, look, he's available to interview straight away. Let's set up an initial call. How does that sound? Yeah, set up a call. Now I've bridged them together. That's how my process goes. But I'm constantly speaking to them. I'm never reverting back to emails. That's so fucking lazy. It's too easy to send it out. It works. It's a tool. It's not anything
also very interesting. I did a few lessons on like social skills, and one of the lessons was on, like, there's a Dutch show. Maybe they have it in the English speaking world as well. I don't know. Dutch show. It's a dating show, and the premise is you get 2 people. They sort of, I don't know. They take one dude. Well, hopefully one dude and one woman. Sometimes they take 2 dudes, and then I skip those episodes because it's gay, literally. And and what you do is you have them meet each other in a house, and then they have to spend 24 hours in the house. So they have to stay overnight with each other, right? And you get a very interesting dynamic where 2 people that have basically meet each other for the first time. They have to figure out, like, how does this work, and how you got body language, you get touch, you get everything. And in terms of like sales and touching base, getting a read, a sense of, okay, what is happening, it's very interesting to see. It's very similar as well, where you constantly, the people that are bad at it do this. They would resort to email if they could. Like, okay, because one of the first things they have to figure out is, like, okay, we're going to stay tonight. Are we both sleeping?
Are we in the bed, or am I on the sofa?
Very good. Exactly. I mean, like, the majority of people would rather do that by email, saying, yeah, let me email you about it. And then they would disappear. Well, in that case, it's not happening because you're in the same room. But it's the same thing you're talking about right now. Like, you have to figure this out together. And what you're doing, which is very interesting, and to someone that isn't paying attention, I would urge you to pay attention right now. What you're constantly doing is saying, okay, let's do this. Would that make sense for you? Is that okay? Let's handle this that way. Instead of saying, yeah, well, what do you want to do? I don't give a fuck about what you want to do.
And
I'm
it's just
going to tell you
awkward.
what,
It's
and
so
then you
fucking
can give me
awkward at that
feedback,
point.
right?
That's
Fuck's
ridiculous. That sounds really fucking terrifying, though. Even to people who are quite socially
Yes.
adept and
sake.
confident.
We would
to
crush
do
it
that.
though.
Oh,
Holy
I'll take the
Well,
right
not you and me
piss.
together. That would be weird.
That's one of the episodes you skip. No, 100%. I'll be confident. I'll go in there just to have conversations. If you like me or not, it's 24 fucking hours. No one dies.
Yeah.
So it's that fearlessness that's really going to help you get far in
Yes.
this. Regardless of the endeavor, whether it's relationships or
Crush it.
business,
We would either like crush it completely or
we'd get
go
kicked
up in a
out.
ball of
We'd
flame.
be kicked out. Yeah, 100%. The security would be coming in.
That's going to be awesome either way. It doesn't matter.
The
Yeah,
house is
awesome
held
show.
hostage. There's armed police outside. Something
Exactly.
was said that can't be aired on TV. They've tried to escort you out. The doors have been barricaded. That's probably how the story would go. It won't even get aired on TV, I don't think.
Get me my sword.
Yeah.
No, but I do agree. Like we would crush it, and then in terms of like this is like a crossover from sales to social skills. It all goes together. But what you're
Wonderful.
constantly doing is saying, okay, let's get Italian, and then if they say no, I don't
Not
like
into
Italian. All right, so let's do XYZ, and then you're constantly sort of paving the road. for
Suggesting,
them.
but you're not really giving them. You're not asking them. Before I even suggest Italian, look, man, it's getting quite late. I'm quite hungry. What do you like to eat? Oh, do you know
Yeah.
what? I like Italian. Well, do you know what? That's great. I can either cook it or we can order.
Exactly.
Perfect. You know what? Let's make it easier. I'd like to get to know you, so let's just order something. Perfect. You've given me the cue to come down and actually ask some questions. There's a level of interest you've demonstrated already. We'll absolutely smash that. Sign us up.
Yes or yes. Yeah. And we're gonna win either way. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah. So no, okay. I think that sort of closes off our topic list, which is awesome. So what we'll do, I'll get this posted, and I'll let you know like the phase 3 planning, etc. I'll send it over to you. But for now, let's close off phase 2 of this, and we'll get on to phase number 3.
Keep hustling, guys. Keep it up. We can see you putting the work in. It's going to pay off. Keep chipping away. Me and Arno are here to support you along with the rest of the guys in the team. So keep chipping. Any questions you've got, more than happy to help out, boys.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Louis. Thank you, man.
All the best.